Stephen, there were a couple of curious stories that appeared right around the Thanksgiving holiday that seemed to indicate that Micron is both reducing their NAND and DRAM production as well as ramping it up. It's almost like Schrödinger himself wrote this. The first story comes and mentions that Micron has cut their production for memory chips because of the falling demand in the technology across the industry. CEO Sanjay Mehrotra said that the moves were designed to limit growth and reduce inventory sizes. Now, if that story sounds somewhat familiar, it's because we've heard it from almost every other manufacturer of these chips in the market. That's kind of interesting because there's this general downturn for NAND chips and for DRAM chips. However, there was a different news article that came out, and it said that Micron is accelerating the delivery of their 1-beta DRAM chips. These are focused on smartphones. And that acceleration means that Micron is going to start ramping up production for commercial implementation of this product line. And that's going to happen almost a year before any of their other competitors. So, Stephen, are we a little bit confused about what Micron's really looking to do here? Or are they really looking for a plan to think outside of the box?
Yeah, Micron's actually doing a really good job here. Micron's management deserves some kudos, I think. So essentially, they're living in a market. Now, it's important to understand that the DRAM market is extremely cyclical. It's constantly going up and down. And Micron, of all companies, knows this. I mean, they've lived through this their entire time that they've existed. And even though they've tried to diversify, and they have diversified into some other areas, DRAM, dynamic RAM memory, really is the bellwether for Micron's success or failure. They're maybe not the biggest producer of memory chips anymore, but they are one of the most important. And I think that what's happening here is the company is trying to keep up with another market cyclical trend. The cyclical trend, by the way, is ugly. DRAM prices were high, and now they are dropping quick, like a stone in a well. And Micron has to deal with that. The demand is low. Customers aren't paying a lot anymore. Micron has admitted, in fact, at a conference today, I guess, or yesterday, they admitted that they are cutting pricing because customers just aren't paying the high prices anymore. They're cutting starts, they're cutting production, they're cutting everything they can to not end up with a bunch of unsellable product. But at the same time, Micron understands that what goes down will come up, especially when it comes to dynamic RAM. And there's a whole new generation of DDR5 coming. There's a whole new process node switch happening. It's called 1 alpha, 1 beta, that sort of thing. Micron is right there and is actually leading the development of new process nodes. So that's the 1 beta samples that they shipped. They're saying that these will give about a 35% improvement in bit density and a 15% improvement in power efficiency relative to the 1 alpha node that's shipping now. And Micron is pretty far ahead of their competitors in shipping this new technology. So I think that what we're seeing from the outside, it could leave us really scratching our head saying, wait a second, they're cutting production and then they're investing in this thing and they're building a fab, and what are they doing? But the answer is they're doing what a DRAM company has to do in order to stay ahead of the market, which is to cut costs when demand is low and to ramp up the next generation product so that when demand heats up again and when people want the next generation product, they're there to serve it. So frankly, I would say, in my opinion, all this news looks really good for Micron, and all this news actually looks pretty good for the overall enterprise IT space because once again, it's cyclical. It's easy to get scared when prices and demand are low, but just like Micron is seeing here, it's going to come back. And at the end of the day, people need CPUs, they need memory, they need ASICs, they need storage, they need networking, they need all this stuff, and they'll come back and buy it.